popular video game series of all time gets remade in the world of Japanese animation. Hello there everyone, as always for RealScreenReviews.com, I am film critic Nick Yakabuchi, and our next movie review is Tekken Blood Vengeance. This mature animated feature opened in the United States for a limited one-day engagement for just one performance on Tuesday, July 26, 2011, and it features the voice talents of Carrie Kiernan, Christina Venezuela, David Vincent, Darren Daniels, and Charlotte Bell. Now, if you're a fan of the video games, you might recognize some of those voices when you hear them because the filmmaker did his very best to use the same voice talents that were used in the games. Speaking of filmmakers, Tekken Blood Vengeance comes to us from director Yoichi Mori, I believe the overseer of Appleseed, another anime adventure from the late 80s. Mr. Mori now combines dazzling animation, a very reliable storyline, and groundbreaking 3D effects to bring us a very credible feature. Our tale tells us of two unlikely friends named Ling and Alyssa. Both of our heroines are in search of the same student, a mysterious boy that is called Shin Chimera and is the only remaining survivor of a mysterious disappearance. The rest of Shin's class vanished without a trace and could embody all the signs of a genetic experiment gone wrong. At the heart and center of this global conspiracy is the evil G Corporation and its front person Anna. As our tale progresses, our two leads will encounter powers as strong as the devil himself, as well as setting free ancient spirits from centuries past and the possibility of achieving immortality. And yet through all of this, the most important lesson that will be learned by all is the human quality of compassion. Well, people, I ran video stores for better than 13 years, and being located in northwestern Pennsylvania, we just don't have the demographics to support Japanese animation. Now, I'm not against it in any way, I've just never been exposed to it all that much. But I am more than happy to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this movie very, very much. I really like the fact that this was a mature story in almost every way, and never does it try to be anything but. And most of all, I love that this wasn't a Hollywood film. Why? Because I didn't know how it was going to end. I'll start with, this is the absolute best 3D that I have ever seen, animated or not. The director's use of smoke, shadow, rain, and most of all dust was nothing short of jaw-dropping. The effects were definitely standout, and what else was standout were the fight sequences that I could have used more of. They were colorful and yet they were artistic. The fighting was fast, it was fun, and it achieves things and goes in directions that even Neo in The Matrix could envy. Now, unfortunately, I do have two big issues with this film. The first is that I don't know if the screenplay lost something in the English translation, but the dialogue is out and out hokey in more than a couple spots. Sometimes what is being said deters this film on a whole, and not only that, the delivery of said lines could have been much better as well. As far as the voiceover actors and talent, well, let's just say that if they could have spoken with just a little more conviction, the entire movie would have been a little bit better. Now, some in attendance were obviously fans of the game and got more of the jokes and related to some of the characters quicker than I, but by the end I was more than familiar with the personalities of this adventure. It was refreshing and a welcome treat to see two female leads holding this film together, which I don't think I've seen since Thelma and Louise. Ling is just as much a badass as the Wolverine and just as much a smartass as Spider-Man. Alyssa, on the other hand, reminded me of a dangerous Luna Lovegood. She's from Harry Potter, by the way, if you don't know. Alyssa was a fun character to watch that just became more interesting as the movie played out, and even though she hides a secret in the film, she proves to have the feature's biggest dose of conflict and irony. I clocked Tekken right around the 90-minute mark, and I actually believe that it could have been a tad bit longer. With every second of every minute, the filmmakers tried to tell as much of a story as they could, all the while surrounding that story with eye-popping action. This film is filled with double-crossing agents and colorful assassins doing battle with just enough irony left over after the climax. Now, I'm not a gamer, but I can objectively give the movie Tekken Blood Vengeance a very favorable 3 stars out of 4. And remember, people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies. And thank you very much for your attention.